Wake up, breadhead, wake up, it's time to get this bread. Use the code, think fresh 12 on blendjet.com for 12 off a portable blender. I'm Kanye West.
Hell yeah, Mr. West, Mr. West. Thank you
Mr.
for
West
that
is in the
shout out.
building.
Just the three of us in the booth talking about blenders, talking about using code ThinkFresh12 to get 12% off BlendJet 2 blender. That's right, that's right.
That's right, man. I don't even use my Vitamix no more. I use my BlendJet, and I'm better off. I'm better off that way.
Dude, I used to chop things. I used to like mush things. I used to do all sorts of things with my hands, but now I got the machine to help me out, and I'm never going back. This is the dystopian future that I am hungry for.
Yeah, I don't understand why people are like worried about AI. It'll just make things like lunch easier. Like if I can just go into Subway and hit a button and let like I don't know, Sam is the AI like figure in my imagination, like Sam 9000. Like he can just make my sandwich for me. He knows I like BMTs. He knows I like that, herb and cheese bread. What else do you really need in life, bro?
Dude, I literally asked ChatGPT the other day to make me a Subway sandwich because I was like, surely all of mankind's knowledge in one machine should probably have a sense of like what the best sandwich is to make at Subway. I have it here if you want to hear what ChatGPT thinks the number one sandwich is.
Yeah, please let me know.
Okay, hear me out here. They suggest you get an Italian herb and cheese bread with the oven roasted chicken. Okay.
Oh.
Now they get a little unhinged. ChatGPT be craving the provolone cheese. Now I don't know if that's yellow or white or what, but it sounds pretty exotic.
Is that an off-menu cheese? Because I don't think they sell provolone. Like they don't have it there. It's just white or orange. Isn't provolone
I,
usually a circle?
I don't, dude. Provolone might be a circle. Cheese is a flat circle. I've never ordered a cheese type at Subway, but this is inspiring me to try it. Next time when they say what cheese, I'm gonna look that artist in the eye and I'm gonna say with my best Italian accent, a provolone.
A provolone.
A provolone.
That would be
Okay.
nice, bro.
So our ChatGPT has a vegetable recommendation with this oven roasted chicken. They're suggesting lettuce, duh, tomatoes, duh, cucumbers, green peppers, red onions.
Hell yeah, bro.
It's very safe.
Is red onion safe though? Whoever I ask about red onions is like, it's like I'm asking them about their Trump beliefs or something. It's just like a hard no every time. Like no one wants to join the onion club with me.
Yeah, no one will admit they like red onions, at least not publicly. It
Or
is
maybe it's like, maybe people admit they like it, but they won't risk having it that early in the day because there's too much like social interaction that can happen after that.
too many unknowns. There's a you don't so are red onions just a canceled vegetable because of their pungency, or is there other things at play here? Like are you worried like as a American that anything red would be associated with socialism? That
Yeah,
doesn't
the
make
red.
sense.
When I chose to move to Canada, Ty, or actually, when I do inevitably move to the United States because Canada will be taken over by the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be invaded sooner rather than later.
The
I'm
water
gonna look to
wars.
the I'm gonna look to the red states, and in my mind, that means these people are more open to having red onion. I don't see why not. It is a red state after all, so I don't know. I think that's what I'm going to base my decision on.
That's
Just a
what they
smellier
mean by
state.
red state. Yeah, it
Yeah.
stinks down there. Um, yeah, so you're right. Red onions are low key controversial, but our robot artist doesn't recommend any like banana peppers or jalapenos or pickles, even
Right.
anything that really packs a punch.
And that's what I go to Subway for. to get punched in the gut.
Exactly.
I want to have a flavor bomb hit me in the face because otherwise I can just make that at home. I don't have
Mm-hmm.
sweet onion sauce in the fridge. I don't have banana peppers. You know what I mean? Who really buys that? Like it's too
Mm-hmm.
much to manage at home. I don't eat at home enough to like consume an entire jar of banana peppers.
Dude, I don't want to open up a conspiracy theory here, but I have never even seen a banana pepper outside of Subway. As far as I know, that is the banana pepper. It just exists there.
Mm. I would be on board with this because I like the theory, but I know too much, Ty. I've worked at a grocery store. I know it's in aisle 4 at Save on Foods. Okay, I know that people, when they go to grab a jar, they're bringing it home and they're eating it, unfortunately.
Mm,
I know it
mm.
exists, so I can't play dumb in this case, but um, you're right. I don't know why you would include that on anything unless you're going to Subway, though,
Yeah.
right? Why
I
would
could
you?
imagine some like unhinged pizza parlor offering it on one of their new age slices. But beyond that, banana peppers has it's very few places to live. It's a very niche species.
Hmm. What's a new age slice, just for my benefit? Because like I think about like fresh slice, and they have butter chicken, they have
Mm,
like pesto,
mm-hmm.
they have um, barbecue chicken. Like that seems like
Mm-hmm.
new age to me, but none of them
No,
have banana
dude.
peppers.
So, okay, with the exception of the butter chicken, I think everything you just named is like second wave pizza. What I'm talking about is third wave pizza. And third wave pizza is like pear and walnut or a hot dog on a
Oh,
pizza, like, or um, a like green.
did you say hot dog?
You ever get the hot dog pizza at Megabyte?
Oh, wow, I don't think I've ever been to Megabyte, but I have had a Japa dog inspired pizza with
Now we're talking.
some hot dogs, some Japanese mayo. So that's actually kind of a cool pizza because it like bridges a gap between like this freezer pizza that like a teenager would order or
Mm-hmm.
buy and like third wave or fourth wave restaurant pizza.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a fun tension. Like, I feel like a similar tension is like you ever get like a mac and cheese slice because it's like all the same ingredients in pizza on top of pizza in a different form.
Dude, I hate the fusion of pasta and pizza. They need to be separate on the same
Mm-hmm.
plate, but separate items. You know what I mean? It's too much.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
pro Italian food segregation as well.
exactly. North and south just stay separate. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um,
The
but
sickos
I
in
have
Sicily need to stay down there.
those Sicilians gotta pipe down. Um, Ty, I have had a taco pizza
Hmm.
and I've had a cheeseburger pizza also.
Hmm. I think cheeseburger
Both,
second wave. That's been floating around for a while.
it's the best. Cheeseburger pizza. It like satisfies the child in me and I just love it so much because I really just want to taste a Big Mac, but I can't order a Big Mac. I don't really
Hmm.
want to. You know what I mean? I feel worse if I do that. But if I get a pizza, I feel like I'm like living a cool elevated lifestyle, but I still get the flavors of 2004.
Dude, so you're telling me that you, an adult, look another adult in the eye and say, "Can I please get the cheeseburger pizza?"
No, I just point at it and say, you know what I want. You know why I'm here.
Yeah, pointing's great because they're like, he's either embarrassed or doesn't know how to read.
Yeah, shout out all my pointers,
Yeah, shout out all my
all my
illiterate.
sign language peeps.
Pointing's really popular at Subway. I don't know how many like old men I've seen build an entire sandwich without ever saying a word, just
Mm.
pointing their like thick like sausage fingers against the glass. Sandwich artists just holding on for dear life, as patient as can be, asking many questions. This or this or this.
Yeah. My favorite moment in any subway like interaction, besides the fighting, is the first time someone points. They like crash their finger into the sneeze guard because they can't
Hmm.
see it. They don't know how far away it is. So they just go like full knuckle to the glass and then they go,
Hmm.
oh,
Yeah,
I
dude,
meant
they're
to
like a
point
seagull
it.
flying into that window.
Exactly. If you're wearing a brass
Damn.
knuckle tie, you could go straight through that thing and ruin lunch for everyone behind you in line.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad. They'd have to replace every bucket because of the shards, which wouldn't be a bad way to get fresher veg, I guess.
Wow, yeah. If you
Um,
smash the sneeze guard, would you be thrown out of Subway, or would the vegetables be thrown out of Subway?
Dude, I think yeah, both are going out the door. Both are going in the bin.
Wow,
Wow.
that's
The other
shitty.
interesting vegetable that I think ChatGPT picked, Eric, was lettuce because, as you know, there's a leafy green war, two-sided at Subway. You're either team lettuce or team spinach. How do you feel about ChatGPT recruiting with lettuce?
I think it's an obvious pick. I don't think there's a war tie. I think it's kind of like the war in Afghanistan. It's just a fake war. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, unfortunately, we discovered oil underneath the spinach bucket, and so that's
Mm-hmm.
why we are delving our greasy little fingers in there. But in reality, we both know that there's nothing to do there. There's no reason for us to be in the spinach bucket.
Dude,
So
I.
I'd say we pull out. I say we pull our troops out, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and we go back into the lettuce bucket like we were originally intended,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't need spinach in our lives. It's just a fact.
Mm-hmm. No, I think you're right here, Eric. Like lettuce does a lot for your sandwich because it adds that crunch.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
picturing a meme
Satisfying.
now where like a plane is taking off and then there's like little leaves of spinach trying to jump onto the wing of the plane to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they subsequently fall out of the sandwich.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're retreating from the bucket.
Damn.
I feel like there's a really interesting kind of parallel here to like leaving Afghanistan, which we could get into, but I want to take this in a slightly different direction. I think that
Leafghanistan.
leaf, whoa,
Whoa.
um, spinach. I feel like was only added to the menu because it provides nothing for the sandwich, like nothing at all, no flavor, no
Lettuce?
texture, no spinach. Lettuce provides crunch.
Yes, of course.
Also equally flavorless, but at least there's a texture play, right?
There is a texture
Spinach does
play.
nothing.
Spinach is like more furry too, for some reason. I just
Hmm.
get a furry feeling when I like think of spinach.
Yeah, it's like
Must
if
be
you
that.
want to, yeah, you want to eat like the ear of a poodle, like throw some spinach leaves in your foot long. I think they
Mhm.
were only added, Eric, to like satisfy the egos of like healthy people, or like
Mhm.
aspirationally healthy people, because they're like, yeah, huck a handful of spinny in there, and now I'm like, look at me, look at me, look at
Mhm.
me,
Mhm.
like.
Well, Ty, I think Subway. Look at me.
we should,
I think.
it's no, you know what it is? It's Nepo baby spinach, not baby spinach. That's what it
Oh,
is.
Nepo baby spinach, and that's because the privileged elite have berated Subway until they've like added spinach to the menu. It's like, hey, we need
Mhm.
our leafy, healthy lettuce, which is
Yeah,
spinach.
dude. It's almost like to ease the complaints of like pita or other like just like
P-
pita
Yeah.
or just like the woke vegetarian demographic because they're like, can you guys like raise your chickens free range? And they're like, no, but we got spinach on the menu now.
Wow, Green
Oh,
Goddess. Green
yeah, what
Goddesses
a
unite.
compromise. Yeah.
Um, I don't think it's Nepo baby spinach Thai. I think it is actually the hordes of iron deficient queens out there. I
Mm,
haven't met a single girl that hasn't told me that they are iron deficient. And
mm-hmm,
we all know that a quick Google search of iron rich foods will yield the result of spinach on page one
mm-hmm,
of Google. And I think that it's all those iron deficient ladies out there who have asked Subway to include it on the menu. Um, it seems to be like I want to look up actually like the Google trends of how often iron deficiency symptoms are Googled. I'm sure it's spiked
mm-hmm.
in the last like year because it's like all I'm hearing about.
Dude, yeah. I don't know a single woman on earth that isn't cold all the time. They're all cold cuts that need to be toasted. Toast meat high. Um, the and that's a huge symptom of iron deficiency. So all these
Hmm.
Greek goddesses out there are actually meek goddesses because they need some spinny to toughen up.
Hmm. Okay, I'm looking over the trends of iron deficiency. I'm going to look at the last 10 years.
Mm,
Okay, let's get a load of this, Ty. I'm gonna show you right now. So
from 2013 to 2023.
actually no, 2004 plus 20 years.
20
Um,
years. Wow.
it's kind of grown. It's grown steadily. Um, the highest searching is in Newfoundland and Labrador, probably because it's the coldest, at least in
We're
Canada.
checking Canada. Yeah, yeah. Iron deficiency.
Um,
Can you throw a second term and overlay Iron Maiden? I'd like to compare iron deficiency to Iron Maiden because I'm not really sure what deficiency they're talking about, and I have a feeling this will
mhm.
be an inverse trend.
You're right.
Wow, it is.
I mean, it actually is. That's pretty funny. They spiked in 2008. I
hmm
guess they were victims of the financial crisis.
Probably.
Iron Maiden is down in the metal as well, metal coins that is.
hmm
But on average, Ty, it's Googled more than iron deficiency, which is kind of surprising.
hmm
Let's
But
type in
like,
spinach versus lettuce. I wonder how
yeah, I'd
the
love to see
like
that.
lettuce as a vegetable or lettuce as a service, Ty.
You know what's so weird is we're about to look at this, but yesterday I was looking at a similar graph of a heat map of where in America they're more likely to say spinach and where in America they're more likely to say lettuce. And it kind of skews like west to east coast, with the
Oh,
west coast being more spinach friendly.
huh, interesting.
Dude, how do we
Well,
get this out of just Canada? I want to see a can we break this down by like America for our American audience
oh, you're
or
right. We should go
worldwide? Yeah.
worldwide. It's the
Yeah, there we
same.
go.
Wow,
Okay.
Russia's big on spinach, dude. Russia is 84% spinach. Who would have
Just
thought?
like our Instagram followers,
Yeah.
84% Russian.
Yeah. Hey, bots have, in 2023 type bots have feelings as well, as we've all
hmm
learned with ChatGPT. So I wouldn't worry about too much. Does this just okay? I'm not really sure what I'm looking at here, Ty. I'm not a data daddy like yourself. Is this
Okay, so
just telling us like that it's being searched on the web
yes,
more
so
than spinach or more than lettuce? Excuse me.
correct. So what Eric's on is he's on the Google trends.google.com looking at the search term lettuce versus the search term spinach to see who is Googling them more. I don't know who in their right mind just goes to google.com and types in the word spinach and hits search. Like what could you possibly be looking for? But
Hmm.
it does appear that spinach is outpacing lettuce by almost like fivefold starting in probably 2016. Prior to 2016, Eric, spinach and lettuce were neck and neck. And I think that's really interesting.
Well, Ty, I was actually looking at the YouTube search
Mm,
results. So for some reason, spinach spiked in 2017 on YouTube, and lettuce stayed relatively flat. So what does this tell us? Let's put our data and analytics hat on. What does
okay.
this tell us, Ty? Do you
Like,
think just the amount of spinach content is like quadrupled?
why would there be 5 times more spinach content on YouTube than lettuce content? Unless this is a outbound marketing ploy by Big Spinach.
Hmm. Well, okay, I bet you if we add a third term in here, then we're going to see correlation between spinach and iron deficiency.
Oh, you're right.
Nope.
No, we didn't.
We didn't. But wow, look how few people look up iron deficiency. Okay, I don't even know what these like figures are. It just says
Dude,
one.
yeah. This math
Like,
is too hard.
oh, okay,
It's all relative popularity. Okay, so
interesting.
for the breadheads, there appears to be a 5 times increase search in on YouTube for spinach over lettuce starting in 2015, 2016. Iron deficiency has gradually grown as a topic of interest as well, so that might be the correlation.
Oh shit.
Interesting. You know what, as well, is I think in a post recession world, Eric, spinach just has more bang for your buck as a vegetable. I think that it like search superfood as a term. because I think that like around 2015 is when the concept of a superfood took off, and spinach was very fortunate to ride that wave.
You're absolutely right. Okay, let me just remove some of these words. Um, we have spinach and superfood being compared here. Um, wow, dude, no one cares about your superfood. That's unfortunate. That's because it's not really a mainstream topic. That's kind of like a neoliberal like topic of discussion. Whereas like
Mhm.
spinach, you know, my grandma in in former Yugoslavia is eating it. You know.
That's a good point. Like the only people talking about superfoods anymore are like liberal meme accounts and like cold pressed juice companies. Those are the only
Yeah,
two like demographics using that term.
yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay, well, let me go back into. Can we go state of California? That actually might be a more
That might be the
accurate
most relevant
representation.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so spinach really spiked in 2006 September. What do you think happened?
I have no idea. I'll
Is that
look it
when
up right now.
Subway is that when Subway launched spinach in their stores?
What year was it? 2006?
Yes.
There was a, oh my God, in 2006, there was a possible contamination of E. coli across the United States in spinach. So, because of that, people were Googling it like mad. Interesting.
Wow.
Maybe spinach just got increasingly more toxic over the years, and that's why spinach is popping.
hmm It's entirely possible. Um, so spinach, superfood, and Subway all peaked in January 2011.
What year did Jared get arrested?
I was literally gonna ask you that same question. I feel like we're working on the same timeline here.
Yeah, dude. Uh, he was apprehended in 2015.
Oh shit. Well, that was another spike here. Was it? Did it happen to be August of 2015?
Uh, near the yeah mid August.
Perfect. Well, spinach took a nosedive at that same day. So I think
Interesting.
just less general interest in food at that point.
People are pretty preoccupied with the groundbreaking news.
Yeah, absolutely.
This
Wow,
is
this is a
fascinating,
cool
Eric.
tool. I've never like looked at this website before, but it's actually like filled with like interesting shit. I feel like we should
Yeah,
talk about BlendJet.
yeah. Shout out to BlendJet. I'm going to do some interesting analytical research as our chief analytics officer at ThinkFresh, and I'm going to bring you some interesting facts for next week to share.
I'm excited. Okay, wait, let's just take a look at BlendJet really quick. Wow, so BlendJet. Okay, there's some shit going on in 2004. Maybe they were ahead of the curve, but really taking off in what is this?
January
2022
2020.
December.
Dude, it's around when we got our global ambassador sponsorship. Shout out to BlendJet.
Shout out to BlendJet. Use the code ThinkFresh12.
That spike is probably due to us, to be honest.
I think it was December, right?
Yeah,
We uh,
pretty close. Well, we
it
don't know how
actually
accurate this data is.
yeah, this it must be it needs to be calibrated, every once in a while, Ty.
Mhm.
Um oh, man, what's going on trending now?
Live Googling with Ty and Eric.
Live Googling. This is
Uh,
great. Too bad Google didn't send us the bag also, but whatever, it is what it is.
One day. I do have to share with you the rest of this robotic sandwich order from our robot
Oh
sandwich
yes,
artist. I
please.
just want to finish off with the condiments of choice.
Mm.
The sandwich,
Robots wear
I think,
condoms.
did I say that? I don't think I said that. uh, Once again, I think ChatGPT is appealing to the masses here, Eric, because the only condiments that they suggest adding to their oven roasted chicken with
Can I
provolone
guess?
cheese, yeah,
Is it mayo?
that's one of two.
Mustard.
So close. Honey mustard.
Oh,
That's
come on. That's not even a real sauce.
what
Honey
do you mean it's
mustard
not a
is a
real
made up
sauce?
sauce, dude.
It's a
Mustard
fusion
is the
sauce.
base. Oh, true. Okay. Would you eat that sandwich if you weren't vegetarian, I guess?
I would try it. I would like you to try it. The only thing that like um the sauces are actually the only thing, Eric, that's got me a little bit like unsure, because honey
Mm.
mustard, you should know this as a sauce boss. Honey mustard is 10% honey, 10% mustard, 80% mayonnaise. That's all that's in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
That's how they
it's
cream it up.
secret mayo.
Yeah, dude, it's a facade. Both the honey and the mustard are
I had no
barely
idea.
there. Yeah, I've made a few honey mustards in my day, and all recipes online follow that proportion. So when you're adding mayo and honey mustard to your footlong, you're just doing mayo mayo.
Mayo. Wow. So if you're getting honey mustard, you don't need to like add extra mayo. You don't need to double the mayo intake because you're already doing a combination sauce.
Yeah, so I would say ditch the mayo and then explore something that maybe a bit spicy would be my recommendation, because you already got the creamy and the sweet from the honey mustard.
Hmm. Yeah, I like that suggestion a lot.
Mm.
So I think now that we have this information, we can test and see if the sandwich artists are AI. We can go into Subway and say, "Make me the best sandwich," and if they make exactly the sandwich, then we'll be able to
Whoa.
like correlate the two findings that we have.
And then we can release a paper on it.
We can release a paper on it. Yes.
hmm So I was in Toronto last week, Eric. Drake flew me out there to check out his stew. It's only quarter mil for an hour session, and I think we should do it. I know Riff
Yeah,
Raff did it, and he seemed to like it.
that's true. When you say stew, are we talking cream of mushroom or like a creamy tomato? What kind of stew did Drizzy prepare for you?
I feel like there's actually a lyric where he talks about soup, but I'm stressing to remember it.
Oh
Um,
man.
but it's probably a thick chili, my guy.
Yeah, Drake loves the beef, and there is no hiding from that.
hmm
So I found some soup lyrics while I
Perfect.
was
What did you
giving
find?
you that. The song "Miss Me" by Drake. This is an OG tie. This one is probably from like 2011 or something. Um, but there's a lyric that says, "I ain't lying, I shoot. You don't need signs for proof. Turn you to a vegetable like you lying in soup." That's pretty gruesome from Drizzy Drake.
Wow, that is pretty gruesome. Huh.
Wow, I just saw
Um,
there's a article from Spoon University that says 15 Drake lyrics that prove he's secretly a foodie. I think we should get into this.
okay. Hit me.
Oh fuck. Okay. So number one, "Make Me Proud." This is the Nicki Minaj feature, I believe, on Take Care.
Okay.
He says, "Running on a treadmill and only eating salad sounds so smart, like you graduated college."
Sounds so smart, like you graduated college. Yeah, I remember that one.
Hmm.
Dude, that was.
Okay, let
We're
me give.
not salad gang here, though.
Yeah, we don't like that one. That was kind of a weak start to the article, but let me hit you with one, and I want you to guess the song. If you can't guess this, I'll be severely disappointed.
Okay, hit me.
I think this is actually Future, so there's a big hint. Um,
Okay.
Lobster and Celine for all my babies that I miss.
Lobster and Celine for all the babies that I miss.
Chicken finger French fries for them hoes that wanted this.
Jumpman. Dude, that's Jumpman. Hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. You got it right. Um, okay, here's a good one. This one's a classic also. We're still operating in the same era of Drake as the first two.
Okay.
Um, she was no angel and we never waited. I took her for sushi. She wanted to.
I don't know that one.
I took her for sushi. She wanted to fuck. So we took it to go. I told him, don't even plate it.
Damn, that sounds like. Is it something off of Take Care?
Yeah, it's hell yeah fucking right.
Oh, nice.
Hmm.
Okay, I gotta Google that one.
These are great. Let me see if I can find one that is a little bit more recent. A lot of these are old.
Okay,
A lot of Take Care. Yeah.
while you're pulling that up, I'm reflecting on how we got here as a conversation topic. And believe it or not, it wasn't lyrics I wanted to talk about, or even the Drake Studio. It was a robot subway that I saw in the Toronto-Pearson airport.
Oh shit.
Upon landing, I saw through the terminal glass on the departure side, not the arrival side. I couldn't access it, but there was a vending machine that said Subway to go on it. And I'm,
Wait, hold
I
on.
feel, yeah,
Let's,
hit me.
let's just back up for a second. This was on the arrival side or the departure side?
Departure side. And you know how
Oh, okay,
sometimes they
okay.
like block you from with like a big glass wall to keep you from getting to certain parts of the airport?
No, it makes total sense. I was gonna say if it was on the arrival side, how presumptuous of Subway. It's like the first thing you want to see when you land in Toronto is like a Subway vending machine. And I mean, they probably aren't wrong. Like I'm always hungry when I land. I don't usually go too deep on the plane food, right? So when I land, I'm going straight to the way.
Yeah, dude. It's actually funny at the Toronto airport. You get off the plane. Well, at least when I fly domestic there, you land and you walk past the subway vending machine, which you can't access. It gets you salivating, gets you thinking about it. Then
Mm,
you walk past a subway in the terminal on your way to baggage claim, and then after you exit baggage claim, there's another subway. So you've interacted with three subways before you've even left the airport. Isn't that
hmm.
obscene?
That's beautiful. I firmly stand on the idea that Subway is the best plane food. Now that I've realized I can bring my own food on a plane, I'll never do that again. You know what I mean? I'll never eat plane food again. Um, but that was a really short blip in history because once I found out you can bring food on the plane, I also got an Amex.
Oh, nice.
And so now I just eat lounge food. It was like a very short amount of time where I was able to bring Subway on a plane. I've only done it once actually.
Yeah, I'm totally here for it. And that makes sense why Subway would start planting both franchises and these vending machines in airports. But I
Yeah.
was so confused by this vending machine. Like, is it AI making your foot long? Like, is Sam 9000 just squirting sauce from like a like robot hand onto your foot long?
Sam squirting his robot penis all over your sandwich. He's like,
Yeah,
yo, order her up.
it's really interesting. So I'm trying to figure out right now what they are. I'm looking at an article right now that says that they are the antithesis of the build your own sandwiches that made Subway famous. So that tells me that they're probably pre-assembled. And I think they're being built still in the fridge, in the vending machine because they're stocked daily from another location and oh no. Okay. I figured it out. We're figuring this out live. They're stocked probably from the other location in the airport with like
Hmm.
probably the artist picks of what would be a good foot long.
Mm. Do you think any thought has been put into like what would be ideal for a lap sandwich? Because like
Mm,
eating a sandwich on a plane, I think it's a great idea, but it also requires a little bit more thought because you can't just load it with whatever sauce you want. You got to think about like, do I have access to hand sanitizer? Do I have access to the right amount of napkins?
hmm.
I might not get the herbs and cheese because I don't want crumbs everywhere. You know that kind of thing.
Yeah, dude. A Lapwich is a like the ergonomics should almost outweigh the flavor profile when
Mm.
you entertain which veggies and sauces should be on it.
Hmm. I
Like
firmly
flatbread's a no go. Like those are way too flappy on the side.
Yeah, nothing with marinara. That's just a recipe for disaster. And if any of that gets into the plane engine, we're fucked.
Mhm.
That thing's coming down. That bird is coming down, bro. That
Yeah,
thing is
dude.
a big torpedo once a meatball gets lodged in the fuselage somewhere.
Wow, dude, and it's the same thing for any, like, runaway veggies. They always tell
Okay.
me if I drop my phone or a Lucy AirPod on the plane, don't grab it yourself. That's the responsibility of the steward. I think that's the only job for the steward at this point,
Hmm.
is to retrieve
Wow.
people's, like, iPhone 7s from under the chair,
Yeah.
but I
I've
digress.
never in my life seen someone drop their phone on a plane and then like ring the bell to have like the stewardess come and then when they come be like, I dropped my phone. I've never once experienced that in my life. If I was a flight attendant, I would just be
Dude,
like, pick up your damn phone yourself. Like what the fuck are you
I
calling me to
know.
do that for?
But by offering that as a service, the flight attendants are offering up a floodgate of potential abuse. Like, can you get me my shoes from under there? Can you get me my
Oh.
snacks from my backpack? Like,
Hmm.
what else can they get for me so that I remain seated with my seatbelt fastened the entire flight? We kept them
like
crawling
a
all over the place.
like a good passenger tie. You aren't getting up for the bathroom once. You are sitting
Hmm.
there with your seatbelt on, devices off,
Hmm.
and you're simply enjoying the view out the window. Yeah, dude. I don't know. I'm a minimalist when I travel. Obviously, I don't even like when Bay brings snacks. I like to just sit
Hmm.
there, drink water, and listen to this podcast.
Hell yeah. uh, you're a Nepo listener. I feel the same way though, Eric. I like to buy the snacks that the like relay or terminal convenience store provides. It's always
Of
weird
course.
stuff. It'll be like they'll be like, do you want a prepackaged like arugula and pistachio mixed green salad? And
Oh.
like you're like, I would never buy that normally, but
Hmm.
here there are no rules. And then I'll pay
Hmm.
$18 for it. It's so fun.
Yeah, this is one thing I haven't experienced yet with you, my co-host Ty. I've never seen you operate on a plane before. I don't know what
Mm.
kind of flyer you are. You you could honestly be like the best possible person to travel with, or you could be someone who like takes off their shoes and socks and like puts their feet up like on the wall.
Oh, dude, I got the toesies out the minute I sit down on the plane.
So, do you go to the bathroom with your shoes and socks off, or do you get redressed?
Hell no, dude. That's nasty. Of course, I'm putting the shoes back on to go to the bathroom. I don't
Okay, good.
like. I relax in private.
Mm.
But I'm an easy man to fly with.
Mm.
First class, life, state of mind, economy
Of course.
class lifestyle. But
Okay, thanks for the clarification.
yeah, yeah. I just I try not to get in other people's way. I'm so self-conscious, you know. Subways made me so self-conscious because you're
Hmm.
constantly dealing with other people, and because of that, Eric, I'm very sensitive to not like rubbing shoulders with people on the plane. I keep to myself. I don't cause any problems. I don't bring
Hmm.
any smelly food on. That's the other
Hmm.
consideration with. I'm sure we've talked about this before, but like if you're gonna bring a foot long on the 757, you better make sure you don't stink it up. No tuna, no pickles, no hot sauce, anything that has an aroma
Hmm.
stays on the ground. That you got
Hmm.
to check that.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta check your privilege and check your foot long at the door.
Hmm.
Imagine you like walk up to the gate. You know when sometimes they say like, "Oh, your luggage is actually oversized, and we don't really have that much room today. So, do you mind checking your bag?" Imagine you walk
Hmm.
up with the subway carry-on, and they say like, "Carry-on foot long," and they're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! That sandwich is way too big and messy. You gotta have to check that thing," and then maybe
Dude,
put it in the bottom of the plane.
yeah, don't go triple meat. It's not worth it. The risk.
No, dude, we're gonna hit our weight limit on the 757, so the
Hmm.
sandwich stays in Afghanistan. Wow.
Yeah, I
Fucking
can't go
hell.
too big. The only annoying trait I have at airports, Eric, besides taking my shoes off on the plane, is
Mm.
after I get through security, I'm neurotically need to look my gate in the eye before I can do anything else.
Hmm.
I like to go to the airport bar, partake in a Campari soda or perhaps a house lager. But prior to
Hmm.
doing that, I need to walk like 2 kilometers down the terminal, make sure the gate exists, read the number, cross reference it with my QR code
Hmm.
ticket,
Drop
and
a pin.
then I'm free.
Yeah, good for you. I used to do that, Ty, but now that I have lounge access, I
Mm,
realize any time I spend going to my gate when I don't need to is cutting into my um, pesto penne time and
mm,
my and my free beer time. So now I've like tried to expertly navigate airports in a way where I go to the lounge first, and then I like mentally calculate how much time it'll take me to walk all the way across the airport to my gate, and
mhm.
I try to like leave like right around that time, so I just optimize exactly from lounge to liftoff perfectly.
Dude, that makes a lot of sense. I love being the last person on a plane.
Me
People are
too.
always like rushing to get in line to sit on a sweaty, like smelly plane. And I just
Hmm.
look at the first class people when I walk on. I'm like, your life sucks. You've been sitting here for so long. Like you're on the plane for so long. if you get on
Hmm.
first. Whereas I
Yeah.
like to like make sure everyone's seated, ready to go, and then I waltz on, take my seat, and then we have liftoff. We are
Shake
in
hands
that.
with the pilot, kiss some babies, and then take
Yeah,
your seat
dude.
in 1A.
Feels like we're operating on my schedule when I'm the last one on.
Yeah, you're right. There is a nice kind of like privilege in that as well. I'm kind of in both camps because I obviously don't check a bag and
Hmm.
I can't stand when my luggage is not directly above my head. If it's anywhere other than above me, I'm thinking like, fuck, someone's gonna steal my Rimowa.
Hmm.
Someone's gonna steal it, or I have to go backwards and like fight people in order to get my luggage. So I want to secure my luggage parking spot ASAP, take a seat, look everyone in the face as they walk on board, make eye
Hmm.
contact with everyone, and just like judge their airport fits, all that. But
Hmm.
if I
Hmm.
was checking a bag and I was merely walking on with my AirPods Max and my iPhone, then sure, I'll be the last one on. It doesn't matter, right?
Right. Yeah, I get that. Usually, like I'm carry on gang only as well,
Yeah.
but I don't subscribe to the same philosophy because I'm always checking in like as I'm walking to the security. And when you're the last person to check in, you get the last row on the plane. And I infamously always end up sitting on the bathroom row, and I hate it. But that's just my lifestyle. It's
Damn,
improvised,
dude.
and it's just the way things be. So
Mm.
when I walk on the plane, I stroll on, last person on. I huck as soon as I walk into business class. I huck my bag up right away, as close as I can to the front of the plane, and then I just don't have to deal with it. If
Mm.
someone takes the Louis bag, that's okay with me. I can get another one. Um, but I'm free from that for the next 4 hours. I'm free. I'm liberated. I don't have
Hmm.
to think about it. And then when you get out of your seat, you can just like stroll because it's always like chaos right above, like right where you get out of your chair. It's always chaos at the end of the
Hmm.
flight. But you just step out of that. You start walking to the front, grab the bag on the way. It's smooth. It's like it's kind of like how Subway puts their drinks in the vending machine by the door. Because if they had the drink machine right next to the register, other people would be trying to pay while you're trying to pick your drink. Chaos.
Mm.
Just move along, grab it on the way out.
Yeah. It's not a bad strategy, Ty. But the way that you neurotically check your gate, I'm also neurotically checking in 1 minute after it's open so I can get
Mm,
the best possible seat and like make sure I'm sitting in the window. You know what I mean? I can't
mm.
stand taking the seat that's merely assigned to me. Like, imagine like not having any agency to like decide where you sit on the plane. It's like a bus. It's like, oh, you gotta sit here. That sucks, dude. I gotta know exactly where I'm sitting, as close as possible to the captain because I think we're on the same like hierarchy in the
Hmm.
plane. And yeah, off we go.
Yeah, emotionally, you are the co-pilot, but I get where you're going with that.
Hmm.
I don't like picking my seat though. If like they want to take care of me, if they want to baby me and give me a seat, I'm all here for it. Look after me.
Hmm. Well, that's just how we differ, Ty.
I guess so. Two schools of thought. Um, we it wouldn't be appropriate if we didn't end this episode with a short discussion about Drake's new single, given that he was a topic of reference earlier. Uh,
Hmm.
Search and
Hmm.
rescue. Are you searching or are you rescuing?
Oh, I'm searching for the perfect sub, but the sub is rescuing me at the end of the day.
Mm.
It's rescuing my hunger. I
Hmm.
like the song Ty. I'm really happy with it. But I think the actual interesting thing here is how he played this off as an unintentional leak at first,
Mm.
which I think is brilliant marketing. So he has a radio show on Sirius XM where he like someone else DJs and
Hmm.
he played the song, which I think was planned. Drake has then apologized for it because it contained the snippet with Kim Kardashian.
Hmm.
Obviously, he's friends with Ye, so it's kind of off limits. You can't really talk about that. So
Hmm.
he said, you know what, this wasn't meant to go live. I apologize, blah blah blah. But then this guy fucking releases it on Apple Music like shortly after,
Mm.
and creating probably one of the most hyped songs this year.
Definitely in the last minute, but that is a really interesting backstory. Um,
Hmm.
I also think that this is the conspiracy and it was all by design in order to alleviate Drake of the I guess controversy of including Kim K on it, because I did think that was kind of, and like even the album cover, like that's such a nice photo. Like he's been like that's been in like the Visco editing booth for a while, getting the like the lights and darks right there.
Exactly. And it like mysteriously looks like Kim. So he's like playing into that like beef almost. That like
Dude, I
fake
think it is
beef.
Kim. Like I googled some photos of like there was photos of her and him at like a go-karting like track a while back. I think they used one.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Do you have any proof I can look at right now on the pod?
I could just check my Google image history.
Yeah. And how does this prove that he's a foodie?
Well, okay, so I actually think this song is clearly written about like pining for a lover of any sort, very desperate. Um, Drake is the sub waifu of music, but there's a incredible parallel in the lyrics, Eric, between your sandwich patron and your sandwich artist. The way that
Hmm.
they have this like back and forth. I think that Drake is playing the role as the artist, and Kim is playing the role of the patron. Um, and some lyrics that kind of support this take or this
Okay.
interpretation is the artist is all like, uh, now we talking, yeah, now we talking, because you approach them, and then the artist is like, I want to be consistent, not on an opposition side, they just want to work together with you. But then you, or as you are Kim, you say like, I didn't come this far to not be happy, like I commuted here, it's my lunch break, like it's 3 blocks
Hmm.
from the mechanic. And then the artist's like, that's fair. And then you're like, remember that, because you're like being stern, right? You're like, you understand the power dynamic here. And
Hmm.
then the sandwich artist just repeats what you say. You're like spinach, lettuce. They're like spinach, lettuce. And that's kind of when Kim says, you didn't come this far just to come this far. They're repeating themselves too. Um,
Hmm. Wow,
so
I think you're absolutely right. And then at the very end, Drake, American expresses his love in the form of a payment.
exactly, I was about to hit on that point too, the payment part.
Wow. And then he says, all I know is hit the mall and see what damage I could do. What's in the mall, Ty? In the food court.
Damn, the food court, of course. Okay, I'd like to retract my fake news about Kim and Drizzy go karting together. It looks like I was completely out of pocket with that. I don't even think that was a real Kardashian at the go karting event. It might have been a lookalike.
Of course. Drake does like the lookalikes.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't blame him.
Facts.
Beautiful. Well, yeah, you're right, Ty. All these lyrics, if you just think about it from a subway perspective, it all makes sense. I need someone to be patient with me, someone to
Mm-hmm.
get money with, not take it from me. I don't want to
Whoa.
buy a sandwich. I want to have lunch with you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow. But
And I also
like
think
with all
about
art,
I
you
also
look
think about
you.
Subway deep down all day, mommy.
Like all good art, Eric, you get out of it what you want to see in it, and that's what I see in this. I am searching and rescuing a some sort of sandwich or some sort of relationship with my sandwich artist in this narrative that Drake paints.
Hmm. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
We talked a little bit about Card. Are we done on this topic,
Sure.
or is there anything else? We talked a little bit about Kanye and Kim, I guess, but Kanye is also in the news, Ty, and not for good reasons. Again,
Not again.
um, not again. That sounds like Drizzy Drake song. Um, but Ty, his Donda Academy. This is bad news. Is being
Mm,
sued for only serving sushi. Have you heard of
hmm.
this?
I have heard of this.
Yeah. What do you think is going on there? Because like sushi is presumably healthy, right? There's a
Hmm.
big push for schools to be serving like healthy food and not like bullshit to its kids. Um, but how many times do you have to have sushi in a row before you're like, I'm suing this motherfucker?
That's what I thought. It's like sushi for lunch again. I'm talking to my lawyer about this. Like, this is so. like 0 to 100 to go from like a bad lunch, like a bad maki roll to court. Like, do you think this was escalated to Ye a few times? Like, hey, Ye, can we just go to Panera or something today? Like,
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of like a more LA lunch than sushi. So I feel like it's like on brand. Like you already know they got the sugarfish
mm-hmm.
like
You got the
bento
sugarfish
box.
bento happening. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, how can you really complain about? I know sugarfish is overrated, but like you guys are kids, like shut up.
Yeah, dude, it's fun and colorful.
Exactly. And they give you like one of everything. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Like, kids are picky. It's perfect. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the complainers are complaining about, but this would never
Mm-hmm.
happen if Ye stuck to a strict 6-inch diet.
Yeah. But do you think is there a mercury poisoning risk here, Ty? Because like whenever people
Mm.
say whenever like I tell someone like, oh I had sushi like X number of days in a row, they're like, whoa, careful, you could get mercury poisoning. Or is that just a myth from the Y2K era?
Dude, we have such a weird relationship with like all minerals in this day and age. It's like not enough
Mhm.
iron, too much mercury.
Bro, I
Like,
thought that the whole time I thought that was a planet.
what's going on here?
What do you mean Mercury is in the sushi? We're on Earth.
uh, it is confusing, you know. Um, I don't know, dude. Like, probably too much. Like, but
I guess sushi Thai it has like microplastics in it, and that's what's like the fish eat the microplastics, and then somehow they have mercury in them when you like slice and dice the meat and make a nice chirashi don. But
mhm.
what has more microplastics in it anyway? The tuna or the tuna? If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. This is kind of like the big challenge with all of these, like, that has bad things in it, is that there's always, like, no matter what someone warns me about, I'm probably eating something worse, like, for
Yeah.
my next meal. Like, there's always
Hmm.
something worse.
Yeah, it's
Like,
like,
just
does it really
because,
matter?
yeah. I don't think it matters. Like, the fact that Kanye's serving, like, I'm sure the sashimi program at Nobu that Kanye's getting takeout from every single day is
Hmm.
pretty good compared to, like, the alternatives. Like, those kids are gonna go home and eat, like, Burger King for dinner, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Can you imagine like a 10-year-old in like grade five, he's like fucking complaining on Twitter. It's like at Nobu. It's like I don't want your fucking sushi anymore. And it's like Mr. Nobu Matsuhisa, he's like looking on Twitter, he's like, man, what the fuck this kid's complaining about my he's complaining about the miso cod. What the fuck?
Uh, Mr. Nobu, yeah, no more Bluefin Toro, I just want a Whopper.
Yeah. Like fuck, can I have a chocolate milk? I'm sick of green tea.
Wow, yeah. The yellowtail maki is just not doing it for me anymore. I just want some Mountain Dew.
Wow. Ah, I
I
think
don't know,
Ty,
man.
if we go to LA together, we have to go to Nobu. I think for research purposes, we
Mhm,
might have to link and build with other pods at
mhm,
Nobu. Who knows? We might run
mhm.
into Pete Davidson or someone like that. Maybe Vince
Yeah,
Vaughn. We'll run into
mhm.
someone, and it's inevitable. So we have to go.
Yep. We can, talk pod with Call Me Daddy over some sashimi tacos. I love the sound of that.
If we can link and build with Emrata in the private party room at Nobu Malibu,
Mhm,
then I think we have a good chance of getting her on the pod.
mhm,
And yeah, she's new to the game, as you know. So
mhm. She's
I
looking
think
to build her
we can
audience, and we can
yeah, we
help.
can help her out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We'll even hook her up with a free blend jet.
Wow. Blendjet, care of
Compliments of
Emrata.
Think Fresh, yeah.
Beautiful. On that note, Ty and breadheads, thanks for listening.
Yeah. Do you have a sound to, close us out with?
Not really. I'll hit you with this one.
Hey, what it do, breadheads? This is Kanye West, and you're listening to the freshest motherfucking podcast, Think Fresh.
Hell yeah.
Hell
Through the
yeah.
wire, baby.
Yeah, thank you, Yay. Thanks for tapping in, everyone. And be sure to use the code ThinkFresh12 on
Mm-hmm.
blendjet.com.
Mm-hmm.
Save yourself some money. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be an idiot. These are rough
Mm-hmm.
times for everyone. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Sandwich artists are being laid off left and
Mm-hmm.
right. Their pockets are flatter than the flatbread.
Mm-hmm.
Let's change that. Save yourself some
Mm-hmm.
money with the code blendjet.com, ThinkFresh12.
Hell yeah. Flatbread is a time circle. Peace.
Flatbread.